I wanted to tell everybody what the song is right here. Sounds like Bruno Mars, right? And it is, but it's a formula copied from someone else. You ready? You wanna hear the real song? Like this. Do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met? You don't hear it? You don't know Michael Jackson.
They call me Pounds, here I'm known as 9'7". 8 customs create, plus I rhyme.
Great. Thank you. Yes, it's true. I got them. I finally got them. Settle down, Jack. But yes, I finally got my hands on the Spider-Punk. Very lucky, actually. I found this one in Walgreens for $12.99. Found Mysterio and Prowler as well in a different Walgreens. And then the rest of the wave I found at Target for $10 using the Target Cartwheel app. But let's get right into Punk. Pretty cool. If you want to read this, I can get a better view.
Man, Spider-Punk causes major rifts, dude, in an alternate universe ruled by President Osborn, man.
Totally rad. No, all jokes aside, when I seen this on the shelf, I was so excited because I just stopped in the Walgreens really quick to get a Red Bull. And I was like, let me check the toy shelf. And there was nothing, and I was about to leave. And I checked the bottom shelf, and there he was. There's DCPI, UPC if you need it. But there he was. I was so excited. I was like, Spider-Punk. And there's the rest from the back of the wave. Gwenpool, Mysterio, Spider-Punk, Noir, Lasher, Spider-Woman, Build-A-Figure Lizard. Straight out of the box, I don't know what to say. I'm very happy with this figure. I almost feel like this was a gift personally for me. I know that sounds like, nigga, you talking crazy. Sorry for saying that, but that's what I feel like. Y'all might think that it's crazy, but this, I asked for this specifically and it was delivered. The execution on it is almost perfect. Now there are some things obviously that they could have done better, but for the most part this is a fantastic figure. So off the top I'm going to tell you, yes, if you see this figure you definitely need it. This is probably the best figure in the wave. And I'm almost brave enough to say this may be the best Spider-Man figure to date. But no, I mean, the Pizza Spider-Man still is the best, and then the new 2099 is still one of the best Spider-Man figures. So, but no,
Ay, Dios mío, my friend, you don't know how to fight. You get punched in the face. You sound like it anyway.
Bro, I made this about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, but I want to nip something in the butt. People say, oh, Hasbro copied you, and I see other customizers say, oh, they copied me, but the reality is, we took inspiration from the comic book, and in turn, they probably looked at our stuff, yes, and saw how we pulled it off, and then took inspiration from us. But that's not copying because we don't own this character design. This belongs to Marvel, so they're just going to run with what the character design looks like anyway and tweak it to the best they can to save money. So they didn't copy me in any means. I mean, the head that I made, I bought off someone off eBay. I think his name is Star Wars Geeks, so shout out to him. But his head was so amazing that they copied his head, to be honest. That's what I think. But not even that, because if you look at some of the comic pictures, this is the way his head is pictured. So I think Star Wars Geek just made an accurate look. See, even me, when I said I feel like this is personally delivered, I asked for a few things, and I think the things I asked for were pretty obvious. I asked for a guitar. I asked for a open hand to grip the guitar, and I also asked for a punk rock hand, but instead I asked for the Doctor Strange hand because that would have substituted for a gripping guitar, and also the devil horns rock and roll sign. So they gave us that in one way or another. They gave us one fist hand, and that's pretty cool. They gave us a pick in another hand, so that's also pretty cool. And the jacket is accurate as heck. So I'm not mad at any of this. One thing I don't like is probably the spikes. They're a little too thick on the head, but that's a minor flaw. They even modified the legs to put sneakers on, bro. Hands, nothing too great. This is the devil horns I was talking about. I feel like it's a little big, actually, too. The fists, pretty nice. I feel like they should have gave us at least 2 fists, but I'm not mad. I guess I can substitute it with a Spider-Man somewhere and make it happen. This hand looks a little big for some reason, and this joint is really stiff. Feels like I'm gonna break it. Jesus. Let me. Yeah, it was kind of stiff. It's all working now, all legit. main reason for asking for these accessories were posability and possibility, and just the things you can have, or the amounts of fun you can really have with posing a figure around. And this figure actually pulls it all off. I gotta say, it does. I mean, there are some things that you can add to it to stand it out. You know, paint your guitar or whatever, get a new guitar. You know, maybe put some white inside there. So, you know, it's a little dull. It's not completely comic accurate. So that's another flaw I don't really like about it. It kind of resembles the House of M Spider-Man suit, which a lot of people have confused this to be, but it isn't. It's just a different design pattern. But overall, it does look good. It doesn't need the white trim around the cobweb. I think it looks fine the way it is. The eyes look accurate. The horns on the head look a little big to me. So I would have went a little smaller with that, especially that the spikes on his shoulders are a little small. But I do like this logo on the back. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm surprised they went with this logo and didn't go with the new one. Because a lot of people confuse effing for get those devil horns up. But that's what it looks like once you have them in. And I don't think it needed this hand. I think that the thwipping hand was perfect enough. Well, I don't feel like they needed to give us this hand specifically, but it works. If you wanted to save money, you could have just gave us a thwip hand. This jacket is amazing. I'm definitely appreciative of this jacket. And the classic Pizza Spider-Man body, nothing really too fancy about that, but I do like that as well. It's a perfect suit for him. You know, one thing I want to mention, that in this wave, they gave us a bunch of new things, and then with last year, they gave us completely reused parts. I don't understand why they didn't give us a new jacket, new shoes for him, a new head sculpt. For Spider-Woman, we get a new head sculpt, kind of, and a new upper torso sculpted. We get a bunch of new pieces. Mysterio's brand new, and yet when it comes to last year, everything is reused. Again, all I wanted was a better head or a better painted head, and I would have been satisfied with it. But Punk is a great figure, and I will almost rate this at a 10. It's that great. I mean, I'll say 9 because I'll get to the flaws on what I don't like about this figure in a few. But for Marvel Legends standards, this is one of the top figures. And you may not think so because it looks just like a Pizza Spider-Man, but Pizza Spider-Man was already one of the top figures. So to add some things to it would definitely improve that figure, and this is what pretty much that is, an improvement on the Pizza Spider-Man body. Adding some extra accessories, I have this Tech Deck skateboard that I've had for a while actually, and then these Guitar Hero guitars that I bought when I made the custom Spider-Man. By the way, if you want to check out the custom I made, check out this card right here. But I have 2 Tech Deck skateboards, DGK, Dirty Ghetto Kids, and then the other one is some dude eating fried chicken. I forgot what that is. And I figured these would work well for him, the fried chicken and the hood clothing or skateboard clothing. Getting him to stand on the skateboard isn't too complicated. He will stand depending on the positioning and the balance, but that will happen from time to time if you decide to move this skateboard around. He's not going to stand on it if you're moving it around, so keep that in mind. He will look good in a pose too. You can do a couple cool poses with it. I've done it before. I'm not doing it right now, but you can get him in some trick poses. I have done them before. This is just balancing on the skateboard standing straight. I wish the skateboard had peg holes or pegs so you could stick them on the bottom of the holes on the feet, but you don't have those, so you could maybe add a little tape or maybe some hot glue to keep it on completely if you want to leave it on for a little bit. Hot glue is pretty safe. You can peel it right off the bottom of your foot without rubbing any paint, so but you can keep them on and move it just a little bit. You see what I'm doing here? Very carefully though. If you need like a stop motion, I guess you could pull it off. Tappity, tappity, tappity. With the guitar holding hand, it latches on pretty well to the skateboard if you want to just hold it up like that. So you can get that happening. Or you could even put the extra guitar in his hand. And I prefer this one only because it doesn't have a strap, and so it doesn't limit your posing. The strap kind of limits you a bit, although it's helpful to keep it on him, but it's prohibiting him from doing certain things. But this looks great, man. Get yourself a Guitar Hero guitar if you have a Punk. They were kind of hard to come by. I had to buy 2 in the two from the UK. And they cost me about $11, $13 maybe for both of them. But it does fit in his hand just like the other one does. I feel like it's more of an actual guitar, a legit guitar, where I hear a lot of people complaining about the Spider-Punk guitar, saying they have two different maker parts and they don't make guitars that way. But I'm too ignorant to know anything about guitars to even notice that, so I don't have a complaint for the guitar. But I know there are some musicians out there that laugh at the guitar they gave us. Now, other than this guitar being a boring shade of white, it is actually comic accurate. I was looking at one of the Web Warrior comics the other day, and that guitar is the exact same guitar from the Web Warriors, except in the Web Warriors, his guitar is black and has a little white in the center of it, but the design of the guitar is the exact same thing in the comic book. And the neck's a little different also. The top, I don't know what you call it, where you turn the strings, you tune the strings. It's a little different. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could paint it, and that would be enough to justify the guitar, but you could also get one of these and call it a day, because you can swap pieces around and paint those too. I ended up painting the first one I had. As far as paint and deco goes, everything looks pretty clean. The webbing looks pretty nice. The spikes, they are losing their chrome at the top of the tip, but that's fine. The jacket is made really well. The shoes are painted nicely, so I like it overall. The only problem, again, is those spikes. You can kind of see that it has red at the top. A little bit of chrome paint can fix it, so that probably happened to you guys. But the FNSM is painted nice as well, and the ribbons on the jacket, the shoes, pretty cool. You guys got to give them credit for these shoes, man. They didn't have to do that. They could have just gave you some shoes at the feet, but no, they gave us some ankles, some high tops. So shout out to Hasbro for that. These are my favorite Hasbro made Spider-Man. From left to right, Spider-Man 2099, all new, all different 2099. Cosmic Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Punk, Vintage Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, and the Symbiote Spider-Man. These are my favorites simply because they're all different in a little way. They all just have their differences. They're not like webbed suits like the Ben Reilly. I like Ben Reilly's suit too. See, I have all the other ones, but they all just look the same. A lot of them look this, you know. I mean, this 2099 looks great too. This dark blue one right here. So it is also one of my favorites. I could have lined it up, but if I had to choose between that and the new one, I chose the new one for the body. And Miles Morales is also pretty cool. I do like Miles because he is different. I just, for some reason, this little body, I don't like it too much. It's not bad. You still can get it in some cool poses. But for some reason, it's not my thing. But these are my favorite 7 Spider-Man figures right here. And I can't wait to get some more Spider-Man figures. I only wish that they made more different suits and stay away from the webs for a little bit. But I know that the webs is what sells Spider-Man, because that's how most people recognize Spidey. So I get it. But I would love to see more Spider-Man, and let me know what you guys think about Spider-Punk, if you have him. And let me know what you guys think about Hasbro's Spider-Man collection so far. Like, if you guys have most of the Spider-Man, which are your favorite Spider-Man? So, YouTube, as usual, this is the end of the video. I thank you guys for watching it. If you made it this far, I appreciate the love you guys always show me. If you like this video and you want to see more Spider-Man figures or customs, feel free to like, comment down below. Feel free to subscribe, y'all, for more content. Click that notification bell if you want to get it first when it uploads, and I'll see you on the next review.